Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about a very important topic which is close to my heart, and that is why everyone should read book. These are the two books that I'm reading right now, Shoe Dog and Hooked, and I'll be talking about these two books in the future. But before that, when was the last time that you read a book? When was the last time you read anything? One day? 1 week? 1 month? Well, from Shah Rukh Khan to Bill Gates and from Mark Zuckerberg to Alia Bhatt, every successful person read books. In today's video, I'll be talking about 3 reasons why everyone should make reading a habit. And at the end of the video, I'll give to you a simple exercise that I commit to daily and you can implement to get the desired reading results. It helps me and it should definitely help you. Don't miss it. There are a variety of reasons why I read a book. But to name a few, there are 3 reasons that stand out. So the first point is, reading is like traveling through time, backwards and forwards. I've been on journeys as a kid, as a teenager, and as an adult. But in all of my experience, I will never be able to capture an African American life like it has been captured in this book called Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. It talks about a life that was a living hell for black people under white rule. Or even if I travel to America right now, I'll never be able to witness the life of a multi-billionaire who built his life from scratch, living in another continent and coming to America and building 3 valuable companies. I've been to Haryana a number of times since I live in Delhi NCR. I have driven on GT Road and gone to Panipat, Karnal and various other places in Haryana, but never ever I would understand the problems that 18th century Rangas faced under the rule of Aurangzeb. This book, Land of the Gods, throws light on those Rangas community who were basically Rajput and were converted into Muslim. No one can discount the fact that actual traveling can be fun. The breath of fresh air on top of a hill station, especially if you're from Delhi NCR, and the cozy warmth of friends and colleagues over a cup of warm tea while lost on a hiking trail. I'm sure if you've been there and experienced it, it's a lovely feeling. But ask a reader and you will get to know that he has traveled to mountaintops around the world with their favorite characters and dropped a tear in their sorrow and rejoiced in their celebration. That's what reading does to you. It makes you go to places that not everyone can physically go to. And the second point is, reading makes you empathetic. In a recent article in New York Times, it says that one of the reasons that you can develop empathy is by reading books. It is so important to know other person's point of view, especially in today's world when people are busy taking pot shots at each other. Watch primetime news and it has become crime time news, where agendas float on the river of ignorance. Reading a book opens your eyes to the culture and the people and the country that you have never been to in person. Recently, I read a book on Vietnam called Mountain Sing, and its author, Nguyen Phan Kieu Mai, gives you a detailed account of an experience of the horrors of Vietnam War on Vietnamese people. If you haven't, then please watch Full Metal Jacket, that gives you the account of the horrors of Vietnam War from an American soldier's perspective. But if you really want to know the struggles and the miseries that common Vietnamese man and families faced in the streets of Vietnam, then read this book called The Mountain Sing. After reading this book, you will not only empathize with Vietnamese, but also appreciate the freedom that we Indians take for granted. Because not so long back, we were entwined in a freedom struggle of independence of our country from foreign invaders, whose marks can be felt to this day. Only if you care to look, and only if you're open to it, sensitive to it. Reading gives you that chance. And the third point is, reading builds your perspective. What is life? We all want to be successful in life and we all want a good life. In a nutshell, we want to experience good things in life. But try as we might, we also experience bad things in life. Because truth be told, not everyone can be successful in life according to his or her wishes. And the meaning of success is different for everyone. Because everyone is different. What am I getting at? Well, even if you're not a reader, you will all agree that life teaches you the biggest lesson, and not everyone's experience is the same. And when you read a book, it is someone else's experience, good or bad, shared with you through his own words, sometimes through stories and sometimes through graphs and charts to help us understand life. And reading teaches you that life is full of mysteries and pain and pleasure, and it entirely depends from the way you look at it. It is not an overstatement when I say reading not only builds perspective, but it gives you real wings. That's what reading gives to you. So these were the 3 points that we covered in this video, and before I start the exercise, I would appreciate if you like this video, and if you have come this far and if you like my content, subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends in your WhatsApp group, and keep watching for more of reading stuff and trending videos and tips on reading. Thank you. So if you're still with us, congratulations. So here's how we do it. So the step number 1 is do a fast-paced reading of the book that you should be reading. I am reading Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, and this is the first page. So for a slow reader, you should at least read 2 pages minimum, and for somebody who is a moderate reader, at least 5 pages without getting distracted. Step number 2 is put this book down and start to recall in your mind as to what you read in those 2 to 5 pages. It could be just one word, it could be a sentence, it could be a part of sentence, it could be a joke, it could be a scene, or it could be a saying. Just try and recollect in your mind whatever you read just about 5 minutes back. Step number 3 is get hold of that book again and open those pages that you've read and highlight whatever you have recollected and remembered, and they should be highlighted on the book. Just like I have done here, if you can see that. Once you have done that, reread those highlighted points again. And the last step is the most important step of this exercise. Now, whatever you have highlighted through this highlighter in these 2 to 5 pages, you need to read them aloud this time, and at the same time, act them out. What I mean by acting out, what I mean is that, let me give you an example. Right now I'm reading Shoe Dog. Now when I read the first chapter, I remember the first sentence that I'm going to read out to you right now, and it will be somewhere on the screen as I read it to you. I was up before the others, before the birds, before the sun. Now this is the first sentence. When I read this sentence in step 4, I will act this sentence out in my brain. So I am thinking of getting up before everyone else. In my head, images of birds and sun are coming, and I'm thinking of getting up before them while I'm reading this sentence. I drank a cup of coffee, wolfed down a piece of toast, put on my shorts and sweatshirt, and laced up my green running shoes. So it's clear in my mind as I'm acting out and reading the sentence that this person is getting ready in the morning. He's woken up early in the morning. Now this step is so important that once you do it and act it out, the scene in your mind, in your head, it will connect you to this book, to the chapter, to the pages on all levels. It will connect with you verbally, emotionally, and mentally, and that's the beauty of this step. Try it out and see the result for yourself, and I'm pretty sure at least whatever you have read before this exercise, you will have an improvement of about 30 to 40% over your previous experience with reading. And I'm sure if you do this the same way, you will see that change in your reading patterns too. Let me know in the comments below if you have benefited from this exercise, and thank you so much, and you have a good day.